all that jazz is one of my favorite stop-motion animators and one of my friends in the community. So I will say I really like his videos. And I thought today, why don't I rank them all to see which one is the best and which is the worst, and how has he improved overall. So let's see which stands up and which will fall. And maybe even learn that we should not bring a sword to a gunfight. Spider-Man and Deadpool is Jazz's first stop motion in the community, and as you can see, it isn't really good. It's really stiff, and for someone who has done really great animations, and this being his oldest, yeah, it really doesn't stack up, and it's one of his worst projects. And I really just don't like the pairing of Spider-Man and Deadpool, to be honest, but I can't really blame the animation for that. So yeah, but it is its worst. I do think this was a start of something great, though. As you can see in that one shot I just showed on screen, that was pretty cool. He uses these webs really greatly, and I like it. But it is not as good as some of his later work, and it's why it's his worst. It's literally a flight test. There's nothing to say about it other than it's a flight test and it doesn't stand up to some of his other work. I really like Dark Archer for what it was. Sure, it's one of his latest work, but it is really cool with its choreography and a character I don't see really used. I don't know if he's an origin character, like an original, thing that Jazz made, or if he's something from a show. But it is really cool, and I like how it's used. But it is not his best work, obviously, and that's why it's really low. As it's still really stiff, a lot of characters move really fast, and it's just really fast in general. But I do like effects like he did just now with the bright lights and all that. Epic Civil War feels more like a piece of ACBA more than stop motion, but there are parts where it moves, so it does count, and it's not like a music video or something like other things that I've excluded from this list. It just isn't as good. It's really stiff characters who are standing for the most part and just fighting. But I do like that there's so many characters, and I uses effects like paper and all that. It is really nice that way. But it is mainly a CBA that just moves kind of, not much. This stop motion isn't all that bad. Get it? All that jazz. Anyways, I really like the car flip and like the choreography with it. My only problem is it's for a Captain America. I can't. It's for a Captain America. Hulk versus Rocket is actually not that bad. I really like the matchup. It's just a very interesting thing. My only problem is they make a catch me outside joke and a bunch of other really bad ones. Here, for example.
Catch me outside.
Catch me outside.
Tag Teams is really just a trailer, but what makes it really good is the Ant-Man transition and just the intros in general. They feel really good, and they feel in character. It's Spider-Man putting his hood up and shooting a web, but it's really cool, and I really like the web thing that he used. Noah vs. Jazz Civil War is just really weird to me. I guess it's cool because the animation is actually kind of fluent, and these characters actually have reactions and emotions. But it's just bested by other things on the list, and I don't really understand the context of like why they were fighting or what the point of it was. So yeah, that's why we're down. Now I know a lot of you guys will be confused, but Epic Stop Motion with JT is just a lot of fun for me. It's a good watch. It's two kids having fun with their action figures, and that's what this is mainly about. It's just a fun thing to watch, and I really like how, they voice Bucky and Cap, and how they take out, like, Black Panther, for example. It's just really fun, and that's why it's high above the others here. Now, this is where we're going to get a lot more serious in our stop-motion discussions, and why, these are good or bad. With this, I think it's okay. It's just a bunch of Kylo Ren's fighting, and, the Rey appears, and they both fight. But I think the animation's really fluent, and it actually feels really cool to watch. It's not something I'm going to rewatch a bunch, but it is still pretty cool. I like the choreography, and, how it spins around, and we can see different camera shots, and the reactions, and all that. There is actually pretty good. That's what I like about this. Though it's not something that's very rewatchable. You watch it once, and then you're like, okay. Captain America vs. Crossbones isn't beyond bad. I actually really like the, camera movements and how he dodges grenades and stuff, and the shield is used. Just everything is really fun about this. My only problem with it is it's bested by another Captain America vs. Crossbones thing later on this list, which is why it's not as high as, It should be. If this was not bested by that other thing, this would probably be a lot higher, and it's actually really good. I still really like this. You can really tell the improvement from where Jazz came from with Spider-Man vs. Deadpool, and now this. This is a recreation of Snoke's throne room from, I believe, The Last Jedi? And in that case, it's not bad. It's actually really good. It's a good remake of that fight and the entire scene. It's fun to watch, and it's fluent. My only problem with it is, it's just a recreation, and it's not original. Now, this is also a recreation, and while it's not the best recreation ever, I really like how this thing happens. I really like the background, and you can see the leaves move, and all that. It really feels real. Jazz said this hurt to do, or something. It was just really hard to do, and I love the effort he put in to do something so crazy like this. It is really cool. I love it. This is another swag wave entry, and I really love it. This is how you recreate something and do something you already did and better yourself. This is really, really good. I like the background and how similar it is to Civil War with like him breaking through objects and walls. It is badass. I love it. This is so cool for a recreation that this man did when he was, 15? It's brilliant. I love it. Daredevil vs. Deadpool is one of the first things Jazz returned to with the community, and it's okay. I still think Daredevil will win this fight. Deadpool should not have won it. But it is really good with two characters who have vastly different fighting styles going up against each other with really fun choreography and fun animation. It is a lot slower than some of Jazz's other work, and it doesn't have as much, like with the Civil War thing that he recreated, there's not much effects with it, but it is still really fun to watch. Heimdall vs. Black Panther is a fun matchup that is animated brilliantly by Jazz. It is fun, fluent, and unique. You can see Jazz put a lot of effort into the effects this time and actually tried a lot with this. With characters who are pretty cool and we don't really get to see interact because, Heimdall's dead. I love it. I love Black Panther's flips and his stuff and Heimdall's just brutal awesomeness with his sword. It is so cool. I love it. War Machine / Iron Patriot versus Iron Man is really fun. This is a matchup that, isn't amazing because it's just the same character, just one's a different, person underneath. This is still really fun to watch. It's a fun watch with a lot of cool things in it. You see two characters who fight completely differently using suits that are literally the same thing. And it's fun. That is what I need. Like I said, fun is what you need with this. And I love it. I love Iron Man's, being thrown around by Iron Patriot's sheer power and, weaponry. And Iron Man uses the house party protocol, which is so cool. I loved seeing it animated. I love this thing. I know I keep saying that, but this is so cool. Darth Maul, Jazz's magnum opus in the community, based on a character he loves. And my god, did this fucking film make me love Darth Maul as a character. This is so badass. I love the choreography and all this other things in this video. I could go on and on for it. Maybe it deserves its own video, but this is such a cool animation. You see lightsaber throws and force attacks. It's just really fun. I love watching it. I love everything about this except for the lightsaber effects. The lightsaber effects are lame, and he should try and find and invest in more different lightsaber effects. But for what he had, this is so cool. I love it. I love the blasts. It really feels like a Star Wars animated thing. And that's what I can say about it. It's just so fun. He took so much time into a character he loves, and it perfectly fits in the Star Wars universe. It doesn't go against canon or anything. I mean, it has one headcanon about a character, like an assassin in the film, but that's it. It's so cool, and I love it. It's fun. I love the way he uses sets, the choreography, all of it. You really can tell Jazz put so much effort into character where he loves this thing. He loves it so badly. So yes, this is amazing. The only problem with me is that every time I watch it, it just gets worse and worse for me. It's not very easily rewatchable after multiple viewings because, you just notice a lot more flaws with it. Like, the sets in general are very flawed. I mean, there's literally this one where it's just completely white. And while the choreography with it was cool, it's just completely white and then some blocks. And that's not what you want in a set. But this is still really fun, and I love this animation. Jazz put so much effort into it, and you gotta respect it. Iron Fist versus Shang Chi is a really, really fun animation. I love the choreography and the fluent animation with it. You can really tell Jazz has improved so far here. You can really see the choreography and the shading and how bright it is really cheers up the mood for when Iron Fist fights. But when Shang-Chi fights, it's darker. And I really like that touch. I don't think it was intentional, but it works. I also really like the slow motion effects where like him dodging Iron Fist's attacks in slow motion. And the two just go back and forth with great voice actors, Thundercat and Star Wars Collector, who do very well. And it's just fun. Once again, fun is what you need in a stop motion to make it good. And this is what it is. I specifically love the part where Iron Fist, like, gets this, like, fiery form. I don't think this is an actual thing that Iron Fist does in the comics, but it's so badass. Here's a clip of it. You can see how much effort he put into this with just the choreography and how he cares about these characters. I love this. While Maul was his magnum opus, this is Jazz's unintentional masterpiece. If this was something you expected to be really low, you are fucking wrong. Darth Wyatt vs. Spider-Noah is a spectacular video, pun intended. This is so good. I love this. This takes characters from the community that isn't really used in stop motion, but is used by animators in the community. This is, Darth Wyatt, a video from, years ago that Jazz made in live action, and it's Spider-Noah, a character from Noah Films' spectacular Spider-Man fan film in live action. And it's perfect. These characters react and act so fun against each other. You see Spider-Noah's complete idiocy when he gets fucking no-scoped by Darth Wyatt by just stabbing him in the back. It's so amazing. These characters are so badass. I love the effects of the sword where he's like slashing down and Spider-Man just casually dodging them, and it's fun, it's fluent. I like it so badly. This is a god tier animation. This is better than some of Leo Legendary shit. That is for real, and that is so cool. He has so much potential with this animation alone. Nothing's gonna ever top it though. I mean, it's Darth Wyatt. Never bring a sword to a gunfight, and yet he still beats the shit out of Spider-Man, and it's so cool. I love it. Also, I really like the scene where he just flashbacks to fucking Noah just being beaten up by Shocker or just thugs. It's funny as fuck just watching him getting sent flying, and I love it. This is so cool. He keeps getting back up, and that's just cool. That's something Spider-Man would do in the comics. And it's so fucking amazing against characters that we don't see much in stop motion. It's like, yeah, it's Spider-Man, but it's Spider-Noah, which makes him feel different and alive. I love this. Also, I really like the scene where he's just, like, kicking and going fast as fuck, and you can see, like, comic, punch effects. It's so cool. I love this animation. I'm gonna keep stuttering and all this other shit. I can go on and on about how amazing this animation is. And let's not forget the best thing about this. The ultimate Darth Wyatt transformation.
I've been here before, haven't I? The brink of death. It's so cold. No! I'm never going back there! Negasonic Ultimate Ultra Level 4 Second State. All that jazz!
Now that is my ranking of all that Jazz's stop motions. Now I did exclude some because some of them were trailers or just didn't feel criteria I felt like it should. But this is amazing. I included Tag Team's trailer, by the way, because at least that was, fun to watch and it's rewatchable for me. Some of the other things weren't. But I still really like these videos. These are great. Jazz has improved so much in so little time. It's been only a few years of him being in the community, and it's just so fun. This is a fun channel. Please go sub to him. He needs more subs than he already has. This is just brilliant. So yeah, that is my ranking. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.
Brainbird, you are the next Jesse.